what's up?
Welcome to a new vlog.
We have dogs.
Yeah.
What are you going to be reading this week, Buttercup?
Nothing.
Your last rites.
Anyway, I'm reading The Undead Pool, and then I am finishing the reread portion of my Kim Harrison read through with Witch with No Name, and then I also have Arsenic and Adobo, and hopefully soon I'll be getting the next in the Hollow series. I haven't read the last 2 books, and then the newest one comes out in like June or something. Also, it's March.
You have to read. You gotta get the new Shonen.
Yeah,
I got that from the library immediately, so you probably won't have to wait.
Yeah, I'll get that. But it's March, which means it's time for my annual Christopher read.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you just did that.
I did, because I started late last year, but this year I want to start on time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's tax season, which it is. I just got my tax refund. Share your refund number in the comments.
Like how much you got, not like...
Yeah, don't give me your social security. How much money did you get from the government? I'll start. $3.
I think I got like 5.
It costs a lot more for you to do your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever be self-employed. I don't recommend it.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. Excuse you. Anyway, what are you reading this week?
I'm going to be trying to finish Finley Donovan by El Cosmano, and I am also... I bought Harrah County, the comic. I don't know the author. I probably... Oh. Sorry, text just came in.
I'll look at it in a minute.
Cut. No, but I got a Harrah County, which is a horror comic about a small rural town, and a long time ago a witch was burned, and she has decided to curse this town for killing her, which sounds awesome. And I bought... Oh, Jesus. I bought an omnibus of the first half, so I'm hoping that's good, and I'm also hoping I get it soon enough that I can read it soon. Otherwise, I'm just going to be reading the 4th trade paperback of Something's Killing the Children, and I might do Umbrella Academy trades 1 and 2, because I have them, and I'm having a lot of fun reading comic books. Are you serious? Cat? Every time?
Anyway, as we said at the end of our last vlog, this week is shaping up to be like a not great week, so we might end up combining this week with next week's.
You know that right now, if we did. We don't know.
Yeah, you'll know probably by the thumbnail. But, yeah.
We'll talk about it later, probably. At the end of the vlog, however long it is. But forgive us if it's very long or very short, because it's going to be one of those two.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll see you next clip.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the gallery.
Oh my god, she boggled. Oh my god. Oh my god, she's so peaceful.
I always laugh because Boba Fett is such a fucking stupid name. Oh. And then they made, it's dumb. It's what you call the little pearl beads.
Oh.
Hey there, boys and ghouls. I just finished this comic book. I have a small problem in which I'm 5 books behind in my Goodreads. So I need to pick 6 comic books. And now, this is the part where I was going to say, Sarah, come pick 6 comic books for me to read. I'm not entirely sure she wants to get up from bed right now.
Hey, guy dog. All right, let's see.
Can you see from there?
No, but
Here.
we can still do this. Go to the 3rd cubby. Count 7 in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the big burn from Batman and Robin.
Jinx. Scared of everything.
Are you going to open? I'm going to lower myself down to not on my knees. So, to read this, I will also have to read this, which is, I can't say because it's a spoiler. We'll talk about it later. But here's 2.
All right.
If you pick one of these, I will stop being friends with you.
I thought about it.
That's 1,200 pages.
And? Okay, 4th cubby.
Don't pick. I read all these already.
9N.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've already read those Darth Vaders.
Okay, which one's the closest to that you haven't read?
It would be Haunted Mansion or Deadpool.
Deadpool.
And just stick my fingies in there and try and wiggle. Uh-oh. That's the opposite direction I wanted to go in. Just give me a moment. I think this is what Deadpool would have wanted. 3. 3 more.
All right, the second copy.
Yeah.
4.
4. That would be Dark Knight's Metal.
How many more?
2 more.
What's the last one on the shelf?
This is Super Sons and Harley and Ivy, which I've already read.
Okay. Just count 23 from the first shelf down.
Oh, okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 21, 2, 23?
Yeah.
That's the 4th volume of Doom Patrol, which I do not have the first 3 of.
Oh no!
So, and I've read both on the opposite sides of that.
Oh no. Okay, go another 14.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That is Harley Quinn and Power Girl.
All right, now it's dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. Just this very thin Batman Year 1 Ra's al Ghul. It's like, what flavor do I go with? There's so many options. You know what? I'll do a longer one. I'll do Preacher by Garth Ennis.
I don't know.
This is the original Preacher, I believe.
Okay.
Which I happened to find at the bookstore. So, my mission this week, along with Finley Donovan, because it is going to expire, is this. This hurts my wrist pretty bad. This is my goal for the week. And this is, I guess, the first clip. So,
It's actually not the first clip because I got a clip of Merritt Bogling.
this is our work.
So you don't want me to put Wookiee in it?
No, put Wookiee. No! My child! Her food! Explain yourselves. Anyway, so this is my project for this week. Because there's 6, that's actually a pretty good number. So let's see how long I put this off and how bad I screw it up in this week's reading vlog. Hello. When last you saw me several seconds ago, I was in the midst of picking out some comic books to read this week. It's many hours later. It's actually 1 o'clock in the morning. I haven't done anything since then, but we're going to play a little game called Put Wookiee on the Bed and let her pick what comic I start with. This is the layout, and Wookiee is over there, as you can see, and I'm going to go grab her and hope that she doesn't chew on any of my things. So, wish me luck on that. I am collecting my child. Here, Bubba. Yes, jump onto Mama's lap. Come on. All right. Here's the comics. I'm going to pick her up. Come on. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. I'm going to put her down on the bed. And whichever one she crawls to first, that's not Wookiee. Wookiee. Crawl to a comic book. Wookiee, you're making me look bad. Look at baby. Pick a comic book. That's me. Wookiee, pick a comic book. Wookiee. Wookiee, pick a comic book. Wookiee. Wookiee, pick a comic book. Wookiee. Wookiee. Listen. You have to pick a comic book. Come on. Wookiee. Wookiee. Okay. Let's try this a different way. Okay. I have laid a small treat in front. Oh, okay. She's on my shoulder. I have laid a small treat in front of each of the comic books. So we're going to do whichever one she goes to first is going to be the one I read. Which, I mean, it might be the one. Okay, she's crawling into my shirt. Excuse the shaky cam. and the no things happening, but my rat is being difficult. Come on. Crawl. Okay. Wookie, you're making this difficult. Here. Oh my god. Oh my god. This isn't working out like I thought it would. Wookie? Okay. Here it is. I put her down. Okay, well, she didn't go for a treat, but it looks like she chose Preacher for my first read. Do you want the treat? Here. Wookie, get your payment. Get the money you've earned. What are you doing? Wookie? Okay. Okay, so we've landed on Preacher, and she's enjoying her snack on my shoulder. That was a whole lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be, mostly because she is bad at participating. But, you know, she's an old lady. Do you want to go in? Oh, you're going in there. You want to go in here? You want a space pod? Where you want to go? There you go. Okay. Do you want to come back out again? You want another treat? Hold on. You're too thick. Take that and go. Take it and go. That's all I'm giving you. There you go. Okay. Anyway, starting with closing the cage and then Preacher. Oh my god, my hand in the shot every time. It looks bad every time. I can't stop it. It's always shaky. I am using my phone. I'm sorry. I don't have $1,000 for a fancy camera or a mic. What I do have is this, which I've never read. I don't exactly know the premise, and it might be terrible or gross, but you know, we're gonna find out together. So I'm gonna start this tonight, see where we get. It's actually pretty thick for a comic, so I don't know, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But I would like you to please thank our lovely assistant, Wookie Baby. Thank you so much for making that as hard as it could have possibly been. I don't know what I would do without you. I'd probably itch less. Yeah, but thank you, sweet baby angel. And until next time. Okay, popping in. I've started Preacher. And, alright, I try with these slightly older comics, I try to go in with the understanding of times were different. You know, this Preacher one, I believe, came out in 1995, which to some people might feel like a long time ago. It wasn't really. So I'm sitting here reading a lot of slurs, and I hate to defend slurs, so I really won't. I'm not entirely... Well, I guess I'll know by the end of this comic how often they get used, because right now it's just the evil sheriff person who's using them, and I'm curious if they're just trying to establish that he sucks. The comic takes place in a super small town in Texas, which, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see these words, and like, just to make it clear what they are, I won't show them or say them. It is the N word and also the F slur that I'm seeing so far, and not keen on it, I'll tell you that. Don't like seeing them. But again, they have the evil sheriff guy saying it. I'm assuming they're trying to establish that he sucks, and they can't think of a better way to do that than having him use slurs. So we'll see how this goes. Oh my god, he's saying it again. Several times. I've seen the N-word 3 times on 2 pages. So, yeah, I'm hoping that there's not a ton of that in this, just because I hated it a lot, but, you know, we'll see. So, terrible news. I hate this. I wasn't sure at first. Then I kept reading it. About 100 pages in, I get it. You're in Texas, and you don't know how to make people seem bad without them being horribly racist or horribly homophobic. Okay. I get it. I just want to be a part of it. You know what I mean? I don't know how much more of this I'm going to read. I kind of want to finish it because, like, I don't want to start my comic extravaganza with a DNF, but not loving this. I'm still vaguely interested in the show because I'm sure they don't have any of these problematic things in it. But I also don't really understand what's going on too great. Like, I kind of do, but they just start you, like, not right at the beginning of the story, but it seems like pretty far in, and it's a super established world, it seems like, and I don't know what's going on, and everything's confusing, and there's like a lot of slurs in it, and I'm just getting tired of it. So I'm gonna keep reading until I go to bed, and then tomorrow I guess I'll decide if I'm gonna finish it or not. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. I don't really like getting rid of comic books, but I have a pretty limited amount of space, and I'm not enjoying this, so we'll see what happens. Sorry for not pausing the TV, but my hands are full, and I just had a quick, interesting update. I'm looking at the gallery in the back of this, and there's art by Bruce Timm, and there's also pencils by Amanda Connor and ink by Jimmy Palmiotti, who they do Harley Quinn, or they did. They just both stopped, but I think it's interesting that... see, I mean, like, I name a lot of artists and authors for comic books in my real life to my poor friends who have to listen, and I feel like they might think I'm some kind of comic book expert. The truth is, the comic world is pretty small, so to see these names is a little surprising, but also not, because, well, this is Vertigo, which is not DC, but Amanda Connor did a couple other things with this particular author. And I think it's interesting that 25 years later, Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti are like still working together. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I don't like this book, but I like that. I don't have a book update. What I do have is a very important life update. Do you like the pumpkin you can see right here because I didn't frame this right? Anyway. I have a child. Oh, the reflection. Cover up his face perfectly. No, but like, all right, there. See? Look, it's Paul. I've had him at Barnes & Noble. I love him so much. This is the exact Paul I wanted with the crazy Timothée Chalamet hair. They have like a fancy one of him, like at the event or whatever from the beginning of the movie. I didn't like it very much. But I love this one, so now I gotta find a place to put it. And I haven't read more Preacher because it sucks. I was talking to someone about it today, and I was like, I'm reading Preacher. And he goes, oh, that's a good one. And my brain's like, do I tell him that I hate it, or do I just let it go? And I did let it go. But I won't let it go in my real life. I haven't told Sarah I hate it yet. I'm going to try and do that on camera. I will reveal to her live on camera why I hate it, so that we'll see her face of disgust. But yeah, I bought a couple books also that are over there, but I don't want to show them necessarily because I'll do a book haul, but I'll do a book merch haul. What do you call that? Swag? You know, when I was a kid, that word meant something different. Now everyone's using it. Wait, hold on. No, that is what it meant. It meant several different things. Words mean different things. It's late at night. Not that I don't talk like this when it's not late at night, but it's been a long day. So here's the book merch. I'm going to cut, and then when I cut back, the angle's going to be fixed, and then I'm going to be holding stuff. Kylo Ren. I got little art and book plate for Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I believe that is her name. Hopefully. And I'm going to read that probably within the next couple of reading vlogs, because I don't have it yet. I have it at the library. I'm waiting 2 weeks, and then I should have it. I do have the X Talk by her as well. I'm going to hopefully try that, but Finley Donovan's about to expire, and I haven't got back to it yet because I've just been watching Dead by Daylight videos. So that's how that's going.
Alright, so I finished The Undone Pool yesterday, and I liked it more, definitely, than A Perfect Blood or Ever After. I think I gave it 4 stars. It did lose my attention a lot toward the end, so there's that. There's flinging dirt at me again, guys. Riff raff. Riffy. Anyway, so I'm on to the last of the original run. I have to get the dirt off my shoulder, sorry. Which is the Witch with No Name. The beginning so far pretty good. I don't, no complaints. So, dirt everywhere. So yeah, we will check in later. Is there anything else I need to say? Yeah, I guess not. There's not a lot to say about the end of this series. It's like 13 books. Now there's 15, about to be 16. And like, when you're this deep in, there's like, it's just wrapping a bunch of stuff up, and it's like, well, it's good or it's bad, and I can't say a lot without spoilers. So yeah, it's good. So, yeah. Alright, friend, what's up?
I just finished this. First half, I just didn't like. I was bored. Didn't really care what was going on. And in the second half,
Oh no.
there's the graphic on-page rape of a chicken, a dog getting a nail through his head, so many slurs, homophobia,
Okay.
fat people stuff.
Okay.
So I'm not going to keep this. I'm really upset because I have been wanting to read this for years.
Mhm.
And it was 2 full pages of chicken rape. 2.
Why?
Because there's a hillbilly character, and every hillbilly rapes everything. So the chicken got raped, the dog got murdered. I think the mom got raped and murdered, and I'm not happy.
Okay.
First 4 pages were slurs. Started with the N-word many times. The F slur, I think they only used a few times, but lots of the N-word in this. Now, I don't know what the author's race is, but regardless, maybe not. Maybe we leave the N-word out of stuff.
Oy.
Perhaps.
Probably not a bad thing that we never got around to that show.
I don't think I'm going to try the show because I don't think the show is going to have any of the really problematic stuff. Of course, I can only find out the hard way. Somehow I don't think there's going to be chicken rape in it. Because all the commercials I saw for the show and like trailers for the episodes didn't have the stuff that I hated in this.
Mm.
But 2 pages of chicken rape? Are you serious? Why do I have to read this? And it's just like awful. It has like the chicken making sounds of agony, of course, and like the person doing it is just like, so you like it, to a chicken. And I'm so mad, and I knew the dog was gonna die.
Yeah.
And they showed it getting a nail through his head. So like, and that's why the mom got raped. They're like, everyone's mad about me killing this dog. I'm gonna rape the mom and put the kid in a coffin underwater for a month. So I'm gonna unhaul this.
Yeah,
I want it out of the house.
Sounds like a good option.
I hate this. Comic number 1 of my comic extravaganza. 0 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
That's it. I'm very sad.
Okay.
Since Wookie has betrayed me, I had to take things in my own hands and pick my next comic book read. She has terrible taste. I'll never trust her again. She's asleep in her space pod. We're having a fight. But I did get some reading done. I technically finished Preacher. I was skimming it, and I don't have any regrets. And I did count it as a finish, and no one can take that from me. Come and try. Pray for my cold dead hands. Anyway, after the extravaganza that was Preacher, I picked my own book, as I just said. I went with Power Girl and Harley Quinn by Amanda Connor. It was fine. I like the Harley Quinn stories, but truth is, sometimes they're a little boring. If it's not funny, then I don't know. I don't really know anything about Power Girl, and I knew going in I probably wasn't going to love this just because I'm not terribly familiar with her. It was fine. It was fun enough. Probably won't read it again unless I'm reading all the Harleys, and I want to throw that in there. Pretty inconsequential if you're a Harley Quinn reader and you're worried about like missing out on a certain story. There's nothing really that happens in this that I think anyone would feel terribly upset to not get to read. So I gave it a 3, closer to 2.5. Do you like this angle, by the way? Because like, I don't. You can see how messy like my stuff is. Look at that. That's great. That's my living space. That's where I spend my time. Anyway, my next reads were the Sarah picks. The tried and true angle in which you can see my television, where I'm in the middle of watching Dead by Daylight while I read. But my next pick is the Sarah picks, which were the Batmans. Spoilers for the New 52 run of Batman and Robin. If you don't know what happens by now and you care about Batman, I guess skip to the next clip. But I believe if you do care about Batman, you must already know this happens. But yeah, this is issue 4, which is Requiem for Damon. And I will... Not Damon, we're not talking about After Diaries. I got mush mouth because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, in Requiem for Damien, Bruce is having a hard time because Damien died. Damien is his son and the current Robin in this universe. He was killed by his mother, Talia al Ghul, and his body was stolen by Ra's al Ghul, his grandfather. So Bruce is not having a good time. The first issue of this trade, 0 dialogue. It's so good. One of, I think, the best one-issues I've ever read, because it's all just told through panels. It's Bruce just mourning and Alfred mourning, and it's so like beautifully done. The artist for this, Patrick Gleason, I believe, is the primary artist for the Batman and Robins. He works with Peter Tomasi a lot. It's absolutely stunning, that issue. And then the last issue in this has a really good moment with Alfred. You know, I guess I'll spoil it because what are the odds you'll run off and read this, or maybe this will make you want to go read it. I really hope that happens. So Alfred has like VR goggles kind of, and he can replay certain things. And he's like a pretty quiet, subdued sort of man. He's very dry. So when he's mourning at the beginning of this, he's just looking at a painting of Bruce and his boys, which are the Robins, and just like one tear falls from his eyes. And then Bruce comes in and he takes the painting and leaves. And then the last issue of this trade, Alfred is using his VR thing to replay, I guess, a memory or a scenario with him and Damien, where Damien's being stubborn as usual, and Alfred's with him in the Batcave, and it ends with Damien falling asleep and Alfred carrying him to bed, and Bruce comes and finds him, and he's just like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that of course you're mourning the loss of a son too, basically, and just really beautiful. And I love Peter Tomasi's take on Batman. Like, I have no bigger regret than not getting the Batman and Robin omnibus, just because I really wanted my collection and I couldn't get it because it got to print really fast. But I did get every single hardcover for these, so I highly recommend Requiem for Damien if you're a fan of Damien. Or, I mean, New 52 is a really good jumping off point if you're trying to get into Batman. A lot of people don't like it. I love it. So I guess try it if you're interested. I would love it if more people read these, because I feel like it's really hard finding people who are into the New 52. Everyone loves the Court of Owls that came from New 52, but I feel like that's the only thing from it that people really like, and then it went on to the ones that came after New 52, and I hate them so much. I hate them. My second book from the Robin picks was The Big Burn, which that's not where the name is. It's right here. You can't see it anyway. The Big Burn, which Damien is still gone. Bruce is still mourning, but it's not what the story is about. It's mostly Harvey Dent. It's like showing you his origins in this particular world where his wife was killed and he got acid poured in his face. So if you like Harvey, then this is a good one. I guess you could read it without reading any others and just use a little bit of context with Damien, because a little bit of his death pops up for a bit, but it moves on. And the last story in this is actually a Dick Grayson story, which is talking about his first day as Robin and a little moment that he had with Damien before he died, because Damien is very cocky but also wildly insecure, and he showed up to be Robin, and his first thing was immediately having to be the best Robin, and all the former Robins are still part of the Bat family, and it was this whole thing. So it's just a sweet moment if you're keeping up with that. And I loved both of these, as I love every single comic book that Peter Tomasi writes. Honestly, I've never read one of his comics and didn't like it. And I still have I have trade 6 that I haven't read yet, but I have read 7, which is wrapping up the entirety of his run on Batman and Robin. So I probably should just go ahead and read that last one so that I've read them all. But technically Deadpool is my next read for this particular sesh, I guess, this week. This is, I think, the original run. Daniel Way, I don't actually know, but it's not the new one. The new one I also have. I have all 4 oversized hardcovers. The original, I think, took place in like the 90s, so I guess I'll have to maybe do some research and find out. Oh, let's see what's on the Just Jacket. Let's do that together. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fine. I've seen better. What's on the Dust Jacket for the newer Deadpools is just his face over and over again, which I think is adorable. But I'll be diving into this, or I also have Dark Knight's Metal. But I kind of think I should maybe have a palette cleanser from going from 2 Batmans to another DC. Might not be great. Plus also, I don't actually know where in the continuity the DC Metal thing happens, because that's the Batman Who Laughs and stuff, if you know what that is. An alternate version of Bruce Wayne gets turned into the Joker and then comes to the main world to cause a ruckus, and he collects other versions of Bruce Wayne that got like corrupted, and it's super fun. So I never read the Dark Knight's Metal. It's a little confusing and they don't have an omnibus for it, so I'm just kind of out here trying to figure out what order everything goes in. But you know, I started this comic book thing reading an absolutely atrocious one and then an okay one and then 2 magnificent ones, so I guess I am doing better than I am worse, unless this is terrible. And if it is, it only cost me like $10, so not a huge deal.
Okay. Well, it's been a bit since I've updated you. I actually read the entirety of Adobo and Arsenic while I was a bit away. I enjoyed it. There's a couple of things I didn't like. Like the main character, her like issue is that she runs away, which is fine. That didn't bother me. But what did bother me is that one of the instances where she ran away was when her ex-boyfriend was like on drugs and she didn't stay to help him, and like no one pointed out that that's fine for her to just walk away from. So I had a little bit of an issue with that, but otherwise I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. This is the thing with cozy mysteries, is I feel like you always need to get at least 2 books in before you can like really get into it and like love it. So I enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to the second one, but it's not like top tier favorite or anything, so like I'll probably give it a 4-star. But yeah, that's that. That's my last book for this particular vlog, and I got some bad news. So the reason we said this week was gonna be rough is because I knew I was putting down 2 of my rats, Daisy and Asher. Daisy has been sick since December and none of the medicine worked, and Asher had 2 tumors that were making it to where she couldn't really walk anymore. So I put them to sleep 2 days ago, and I'm very upset about it. But yeah, that's where we are. There's Heidi though. She's still good. Hi Heidi. Oh, hey. Alright. See you next clip.
I've been terrible about updating. I don't know what happened. Just time got away from me, I guess, but I've read a couple more in my comic book extravaganza, namely Deadpool Volume 1 by Daniel Way and Dark Knight's Metal, mostly by Scott Snyder. I don't have a ton to say about those, but I might talk about them a little later. What I do want to talk about is Volume 1 of the Omnibus for Harrah County by Cullen Bunn. I've heard about this. I hate when I get my finger in the camera. Just want to say that. So I've heard a lot about this particular story because I've been researching horror comics because I want to read more that are not superhero related, because everything I read is Batman. So this was talked about, so I bought it, and it turned out to be like really, really good. I don't want to spoil it, but I'll say the premise is I think it takes place in like the 1920s or 30s, a long time ago. That's the impression I get. And they had burned a witch for being an evil witch. And as she's burning, she's like, I'm going to come back and curse you. And this girl is born, and 18 years later, everyone's trying to figure out if she is the reincarnation of that witch. And it's definitely horror. I actually sat with it last night. I'm like, is this horror? I thought to myself, well, there's a boy in it with no skin. And I think it's horror. I don't know what your threshold for horror is. If it's mild, maybe this isn't for you. But it's actually not, I don't know, it's not that bad. There's a skinless boy in it, but it's not like terribly disturbing. But I don't want to spoil anything. The story's so fun and cool, but there's some really great selling points. Like the skinless boy is a good selling point, but the main character, Emmy, she's like kind of trying to figure herself out and figure out if she is in fact like the reincarnation of this woman who was burned at the stake. I have part 1 of the story, the omnibus, because there's these beautiful library editions that you can't really get anymore. So I settled for the paperback omnibuses. There's only 2, and they're pretty reasonably priced. So if you want to check these out, those are the best way to go, or the trade paperbacks. But I'm nearly finished with this first one. I bought the second one. It's on its way here. And not much of an update, I guess, because I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm just going to say, if you want to read horror comics, Harrah County is so good. And so is Something is Killing the Children. I'm going to try and dip my little toesies in a little more with horror. I don't know the name of the author for this one. I read The Me You Love in the Dark. I think that's horror. It's a ghost-ish thing. I don't really know. I'm really bad at categorizing horror specifically, because with it, it's like I assume it's only horror if I am personally horrified, but that's absolutely not the case. I just have main character syndrome. But that one was a fun, cute one. Very short, 5 issues in a trade paperback that's not out yet. I liked it a lot. Not sure if I want to check into other things by that author, but like Kellen Bunn has done a lot of stuff. He has so much out. It's pretty overwhelming actually to look at. He did a little Archie story that I read before, and I didn't know this was him. He did the Blossom 666, which is Cheryl and Jason Blossom are still twins in the story, but they're like fighting over who gets to be the Antichrist. And I love the premise and I love the art. I just didn't totally love the story. But so far, Harrah County is where it's at. If you want to read some really good horror that's not all that gruesome, in my opinion, I would suggest this. And we'll see what other comics I read in this extravaganza.
What is it you want, Cujo? Why are you staring at me? You've been staring at me like this for 5 minutes. Why you like this? Hmm? Cujo? Wow. Is that a power move? Okay then. It's the following Thursday. I never claimed to be good at this. I'll never claim to be good at this. But hello. Anyway, I think I had updated you on Arsenic and Adobo. And I read Lover Unbound by J.R. Ward, which I'm not going to talk very much about because that one is one of the books in the series that's like unforgivably problematic. Like seriously an issue. So I'm not going to talk much about that one. And I'm starting my Patricia Briggs reread for this year. So I'm on Moon Called. I like it so far. Of course I do. It's my favorite series. I'll try to cut it with other books so it's not too horribly boring here. I thought about doing just a separate video, but I don't know. That might be weird. So yeah, that's where we are. I'll update you more from now on. Hello, welcome to the end of the vlog.
We match.
Kinda. I don't remember what I read in the last 2 weeks. So there you go.
I've read a lot of comic books, and that's it. I've said what they are throughout. Can't remember them off the top of my head. A lot of Batman, Harrah County, Preacher one.
So yeah, next week I'll be reading. I've started the next book in the Finley Donovan series. Those clips are for next week, basically. And then I have Grave Expectations, and I'm going to be continuing my Patricia Briggs reread.
I'm going to be reading more comic books. That's my plan. I haven't picked them out or anything. I'm going to be loosey-goosey.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. We have no dogs, so it's a short intro.
Mm-hmm.
Or outro, sorry.
Yeah, I kicked them out because they're annoying.
Goodbye.